Right now at noon, a shooting near the Cinco de Mayo fiesta on the waterfront kills one and injures another. What we know about the incident is police have yet to detain a suspect. Plus, a new deal between two major healthcare companies here in the Northwest brings thousands of patients back into the network. Then the U.S. backs off a military plan to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz just one day after launching it. And later, the cruise ship plagued by a suspected hantavirus outbreak departs for its next destination amid global concerns about the spread. Thank you for joining us here at noon. I'm Tim Gordon. Our top story this afternoon, one person is dead and another is in the hospital after a shooting last night outside the waterfront Cinco de Mayo fiesta. Police say it happened around 10:30 near Southwest NATO Parkway in Harvey Milk. Thomas Schultz breaks down what we know so far.
Police were out here in downtown Portland for hours this morning from when the shooting occurred around 10:30 last night to around 4:30 this morning. It happened near the Cinco de Mayo festival as it was wrapping up here downtown. We don't know if the suspect or victims were attending the event, but you can see in this video from a witness people running away from the festival last night. Portland police tell us once they arrived on scene, they found two men had been shot. One died, the other was transported to a local hospital. We don't yet know the names of the victims, but we spoke to a witness who was downtown to pick his brother up from the Cinco de Mayo festival when he heard the shooting.
And then all of a sudden, people started breaking the fence. And so when I saw people breaking the fence, especially at a place where is the emergency exit, I ran into it and I started noticing everyone was crying.
Portland police say so far no arrests have been made, though this is an active investigation. Anyone with information about what led up to the shooting or possibly who was involved is urged to contact Portland police. In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
In an update, thousands of patients are once again insured after Legacy Health and Regents settled on a new contract just hours ago. The previous contract between the two lapsed in early April, with the main issue being reimbursement rates. Under the new contract, if a patient was treated at Legacy from April 1st through now, Regents will retroactively process those claims as in-network. Legacy's vice president said in part, "We are grateful to our people, patients, and communities for their patience and understanding while we worked with Regents on a new agreement." Regents thanked patients who were affected, saying in part, "We recognize the disruption caused by the termination and thank you for your patience throughout this process as we continue to advocate for affordable healthcare access, or access to healthcare, I should say." All right, turning to your weather headlines this afternoon with this live look from our Rose City Sky camera. We've got another great day for now, but will that sunshine get through a little sooner today? Let's bring in Corey Johnson for a closer look. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Tim. Yeah, good afternoon. The answer is yes, but it's not going to happen until we get later in the day. So we still got a few more hours of the clouds and the gray, the typical Pacific Northwest sky that we're seeing early throughout the morning and into the afternoon. This is a look from the square. A few people active out there. Looks like they're taking down some sort of event. 60 degrees and cloudy. As far as our temperatures are concerned, sitting in the low 60s in several spots, 61 in Beaverton and in Hillsborough. Looks like 59 for us in Vancouver over in Southwest Washington. This is a look near our Salem sky camera. Also another cloudy day out there, 61 degrees and a nice calm southwest breeze. Looking at futurecasts throughout the rest of the day, we are starting with clouds, of course, and as we get throughout the rest of the day, it is going to break up just a little bit. We'll see some breaks in the clouds as we get to around dinner time. Our temperatures also going to heat up slightly. We're sitting at around 60, 61 degrees currently. Going to bump up to 69 by 3 this afternoon, and by dinner time 73, but also partially sunny. So the sun yet to come. Tim?
We'll look forward to it. Thanks, Corey. Oil prices took a dive today on hopes the U.S. and Iran are closing in on an agreement to end the war. The global benchmark of Brent crude now hovering around $100 a barrel after spending much of the last 24 hours around $108 a barrel. It comes as President Trump suspends a military operation meant to help commercial ships pass through the Strait of Hormuz the day after it began. NBC's Richard Engel has more.
After claiming overwhelming success in the war with Iran over which country controls the Strait of Hormuz, last night, President Trump dramatically changed course. He posted that his newly minted military operation, Project Freedom, to escort commercial ships through Hormuz, breaking an Iranian blockade, is suspended the day after it began. Trump said the pause will help diplomatic talks to end the war brokered by Pakistan. His administration had been celebrating the operation just hours before.
This is the first step towards reopening the strait.
Defense Secretary Hegseth earlier saying the operation was going well, with American warships successfully escorting vessels.
We know the Iranians are embarrassed by this fact. They said they control the strait. They do not.
So what changed? The short-lived Project Freedom led Iran to fire at ships and at the nearby United Arab Emirates, setting a refinery ablaze. Two U.S. officials also tell NBC News that two American commercial ships that were targeted by Iran both had U.S. military security teams on board. Trump says the time has come for Iran to give up and that the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports will continue.
They should wave the white flag of surrender.
While once again downplaying the war.
I call it a skirmish because Iran has no chance.
That's Richard Engel reporting. In other national headlines this afternoon, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick testified in front of the House Oversight Committee today as part of their probe into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Documents the Justice Department released earlier this year show Lutnick communicated with Epstein for years, both before and after Epstein was convicted. Lutnick denies any wrongdoing and has not been accused of any inappropriate conduct tied to Epstein. However, he has given conflicting accounts of their relationship and the timing of it. The FDA announced its first authorization of fruit-flavored electronic cigarettes, or vapes, for adult smokers. Previously, the agency only gave permission for tobacco and menthol-flavored vapes. The decision is likely to be challenged by health and parent organizations that have pointed to flavors as the driver behind underage vaping. The FDA says the move is not an approval or endorsement of the products, but is intended for adults looking to cut back or quit smoking cigarettes. CNN founder and philanthropist Ted Turner has died at the age of 87. Turner launched CNN, the nation's first 24-hour all-news broadcast, back in 1980. He founded the United Nations Foundation and was a lifelong conservationist who helped reintroduce bison to the western U.S. In 2018, Turner revealed he had a progressive brain disorder called Lewy body dementia. Turner is survived by his 5 children, 14 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. We'll have more on Turner's life and legacy coming up in our next half hour on KGW+. Well, developing this afternoon, a medical assistant charged in connection with a Vancouver child sex abuse case appeared in Clark County courtroom to face new charges. Court documents show Chad Hartley made a young girl he knew available to the other suspect in this case, a pediatrician who just died by suicide. Catherine Cook has the latest details.
In an orange jumpsuit to clothe him and no one yet to defend him, accused child sex predator Chad Hartley faced a Clark County judge Tuesday.
He's here today on a new allegation of trafficking.
On Monday, Vancouver Police digital forensic investigators found new evidence. Court documents say Hartley knowingly and recklessly trafficked a young girl by taking her to this house in La Center and leaving her alone with pediatrician Michael Wilmington to engage in sexually explicit acts. Documents say the two men met through the nudist community. Police say Wilmington, who last worked at Kaiser Salmon Creek, died by suicide Saturday amid the investigation. Hartley was a medical assistant at this Peace Health clinic in Vancouver. Both were recently fired. Back in court,
As to all the charges, you have a right to remain silent.
the judge raised Hartley's bail to $800,000. Hartley also faces first-degree child molestation charges and second-degree charges related to child pornography. The judge told Hartley he qualified for a public defender. Hartley said he'd be retaining private counsel.
What is the name of the attorney?
I do not know. My mother set it up.
Catherine Cook reporting there. Hartley was scheduled to be arraigned this morning, but it was postponed to sort out who will represent him. Meanwhile, investigators are still asking any parents whose children had unsupervised contact with either Wilmington or Hartley to call their local police department. And if you or someone you know is a survivor of sexual assault, know that help is available 24/7. One resource for you, and it's a good one, the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 800-656-4673.